Afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Harish, for giving a context to this press conference. Uh, First of all, I would like all of you who have come here, thank you for joining us. We are very excited to announce the new initiatives under the HCL SRFI Squash Podium Program. I would also like to thank our partners, Squash Rackets Federation of India, Mr. Cyrus Pocha and Mr. Harish Prasad, who are there with us, and also all the players who have come in today. Uh, from the camp, which is right now ongoing. So thank you, Joshna, thank you, Saurav, thank you everyone to come to join us. Before we begin, I would like to mention a few things about why HCL has invested into sports and, of course, squash specifically. I think probably everyone knows that HCL is a technology company. We were founded in 1976, about 46 years back. And beyond technology, we also thought that we would like to invest in areas which are touching a lot of people, touching a lot of lives, trying to impact them and all of that. And this is where we thought that sports as a category, as an area, would be suited to us. Under sports. We have invested into squash. We also do a lot of activities around bridge, which is a card game. We had tennis. We also support other sports through Olympic Gold Quest, which is a not-for-profit organization supporting Olympic or rather preparing athletes for Olympics and other similar kind of tournaments. Uh, but overall, our brand philosophy is about multiplying human potential, right? And which translates into sports specifically, where we think that or rather our objective is to multiply potential of athletes and the squash ecosystem overall. So how we can impact the ecosystem, which not just have players but also coaches, referees, the squash enthusiasts, the squash, I would say the amateur players, everyone. So how we can impact all of them and multiply their potential so that the sport grows. So this is where our investment to squash started in 2016. So we have been working along with Cyrus and Harish for I think 6 years now. But the Squash Podium Program was conceptualized in 2019-20, and again it followed quite a rigorous process in that sense, where we thought of a holistic program in terms of how we can impact the senior players, the junior players, the upcoming talent, coaches, referees, and ecosystem. And this is where we started that program and conceptualized that and implemented it in 2019-20. Some of the things that we did were, and I would request Cyrus to probably speak about it later and detail that out, but some of the things that we did was bringing squash tournaments, the PSA tournaments, to India, so that the senior players, the junior players, players who haven't played the PSA tournaments outside of India, they all get to benefit. They are able to compete at an international level with international opponents in the home country, right? So this is where we did the PSA tournaments. Then we also organized some high performance camps for juniors for preparing them for their world championships. We did a lot of coaching clinics, coaching workshops, level 1, level 2. We also did referee clinics. We also ensured that while we are doing the PSA tournaments, all the juniors, there were certain junior tournaments which we clubbed, so that the juniors are able to interact with the seniors, get them to or get to see them while playing, while in action, so that they also get benefited. So there were a lot of these kind of things that happened. Of course, again, I would request Cyrus to talk about the impact that we delivered from that program. But after 2020, of course, the COVID pandemic hit, and it hit the sports sector quite significantly in that sense. We still tried to do some of the tournaments, some of PSA tournaments, some of the coaching camps, just to ensure continuum and help the players to be match ready, to be of course playing at that highest level. Now of course, with the pandemic at least losing its team, we thought that it's a good time to invest again in that program, to restart it, to energize it, and to accelerate our efforts. And this is where we thought that let's again build some activities. And I would just like to point out certain things that we are doing, certain activities that we are doing. The first and foremost is there's a high performance camp going on. It started yesterday for the seniors who are going for the Commonwealth Games. We have invited a foreign coach, Chris Walker. We have our sparring partners, Gregory and Sebastian, who are there with us today to help our Indian players train, or not train, I would say, but prepare for the Commonwealth Games, so that of course the aim is to get podium finishes, gold, silver, bronze, whatever it is, and aim for that. We also have got a renowned physiotherapist who would be traveling along with the team, or who would be there with the team in the Commonwealth Games. Then of course followed by that, we will organize multi-city PSA tournaments like we did in 2019-20 across the country. There would be 3 or 4 of them. We are thinking of also starting a grassroots development program, so that our base gets stronger in the next 3, 4, 5 years, and we have a lot of Saurav, Joshna, Deepika, everyone in the country in the next 5 years, right? So we are trying to implement that program as well. We would do the senior nationals. We would also do the Indian Junior Open, which is a 6-star tournament. It's a platinum event under the Asian Squash Federation. And of course we will do capacity building, skill enhancement for our coaches and referees. So I'm very confident that when we implement this program, there would be a lot of impact, and it would continue to deliver it over the next 3, 4, 5 years. I would now request Cyrus to talk about, of course, SRFI, their vision, overall, the impact that we delivered through this HCL SRFI Squash Podium Program in the last 3, 4 years. Over to Cyrus.
Over here today, we have with us, in fact, not only 3 Indian world champions, but we've got a singles world champion as well. So we have 4 world champions in this room. So I think that's something very special we have over here today. So I think that's something to be applauded, and it's been, yeah, to everyone, yeah. So in the last 10 years, squash has grown leaps and bounds. 10 years ago, it was a dream to have players who are ranked top 10 in the world. We have been fortunate enough to have 3 of our Indians to reach absolutely the pinnacle in the PSA rankings. Apart from that, we also recently won the World Doubles Championship, so that's something which has been amazing for us. Now, all of this, goes in with a lot of training for the players, and they have done their part. At the back end, the Federation supports them as and when possible. Sports Authority of India, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sport has given us also a lot of support over the last few years, or really last 2 decades. And since 2019, it's been HCL who has been there to support us. Their support has been absolutely fabulous, and it's been great working with Rajat and his complete team. Whenever we have any support which is required, it's literally a phone call away, where we call him up and say we really need the support, and we try and see what is best that can happen. And that's transcended into these last 6 years, where Indian squash has certainly benefited. I keep saying to everyone, and as their motto, to touch lives, they've truly touched the lives of a lot of our Indian players. I'll go through a few aspects where where it's been done, and we'll realize that's what's been happening. So initially, before the Squash Podium Program, it was the national championships, and it was with Rajat and his team at HCL, we made sure that we got equal prize money for women. Initially, Deepika was the one who also spoke about it, and thanks to HCL and their support, we've got equal prize money, and not only in the seniors, it is being done in the juniors right now. So as we speak, there is equal prize money across all levels at SRFI events. So after that, we then started doing junior international events. The key was we started with Asian junior ranking events, international events, where our juniors got Asian squash ranking points. And that has helped as well when we go and play Asian events, that our juniors are ranked. So bringing in foreigners, young boys and girls, is always good when we have our events. So that's been another boon. Organizing PSA events, at present, the highest PSA event is a $20,000 PSA event, where we've done a few. We've been doing otherwise generally 6,000 and 12,000 Challenger Tour events, and that's been great. We had 26 players ranked 5 years ago in the PSA. Today we've got over 75, and that's going to grow. With this year, we've already put in a plan to have the next 3 to 4 events starting in September. So we are sure that we would have more youngsters joining the PSA as well. Apart from the players, we've had coaching conferences, we've had coaching clinics, which has helped develop our coaches. This is an area which needs a lot of development, and we are doing our bit to try and broad base and bring in more certified coaches. So thanks to HCL support, we have been doing that. Finally, it's these camps, and bringing down. We've got Gregory and Sebastian here today at the Commonwealth Games. We've got English physiotherapist Graham, who's going to be with us with our team. So this is all due to the support of HCL. So without their support, we would not be able to achieve and do the things we'd want to. So a big thank you to HCL from all of us at all Indian squash players and our complete fraternity. Thank you.
எல்லாருக்கும் நன்றி இங்கே வந்ததுக்கு. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் இந்தியன் ஸ்குவாஷ் அகாடமிக்கும் ஹெச்சிஎல்க்கும் ரொம்ப நன்றி ஃபார் ஸ்குவாஷை வந்து லெவலில் உயர்த்துறதுக்கு ரொம்ப நன்றி. ஃபஸ்ட்டு ஆரம்பித்தது வந்து ஸ்குவாஷ்னா ஆரம்பித்தது இந்தியன் ஸ்குவாஷ் அகாடமியில் தான். ஸோ அப்போ இருந்துனே அங்கே தான் விளையாட்டுருக்கேன். அண்ட் ஹெச்சிஎல் வந்து ரொம்ப உதவி பண்ணியிருக்காங்க இப்போ வரலும். அண்ட் பை ஆர்கனைசிங் கேம்ப்ஸ், அப்புறம் வந்து கெட்டிங் இன்டர்நேஷ்னல் பிளேயர்ஸ் ரொம்ப நிறைய உதவி பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ஸ்குவாஷ் போடியம் ப்ரோக்ராம் வந்து ரொம்ப நல்ல இனிஷியேட்டிவ். அவங்களோட கான்செப்ட் வந்து ரொம்ப நல்ல கான்செப்ட். டு பிளேயர்ஸை ஹெல்ப் பண்ணி இன்னும் நல்லா விளையாட வச்சு அகெயின் இந்த மாதிரி ட்ரைனிங் கேம்ப்ஸ்லாம் ஆர்கனைஸ் பண்ணுறதுனால வந்து இட்ஸ் ரியலி ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல். ரொம்ப ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்குது பிளேயர்ஸ்க்கு ஃபார் தேர் க்ரோத். அண்ட் அவங்க பண்ணுற லைக் டோர்னமெண்ட்ஸ், நேஷ்னல்ஸ், அதெல்லாம் கூட ரொம்ப ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுது. அந்த பிஎஸ்ஏ டோர்னமெண்ட்ஸ் அவங்க ஆர்கனைஸ் பண்ணுறதுலாம் இட்ஸ் ஆல் பார்ட் ஆஃப் த போடியம் ப்ரோக்ராம். அண்ட் அது நிறையா அப்கமிங் பிளேயர்ஸ்க்கு வந்து ரொம்ப ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்குது. கண்டிப்பாக இருக்குது. சௌரவ் கோஷால், தீபிகா பலிக்கல், ஜோஷ்னா, இந்த என்டையர் டீம் வந்து இந்த கேம்பில் வந்து நல்லா ட்ரைனிங் பண்ணிருக்கோம். ஹோப்ஃபுல்லி நல்லா விளையாடுவோம். நிறைய சான்சஸ் இருக்குது மெடல் எடுக்கிறதுக்கு ஃபார் ஷுர்.